Hey guys, Austin Hope here in the backyard in Paso Robles. Confined, is that what they call it? Confined? Or stay in your place or something like that. Anyways, um, it's springtime, so we finally, grapes are just getting ready to start growing, and it's warm out, right? It's almost 7 o'clock at night, and the sun's still out, and I'm in a short sleeve shirt, and gonna grill, right? So grilling is obviously a spring and summer sport. Not always. Some people in certain states, Texas for example, they can grill all year round. But out here in California, it is cool. We're just finally starting to see some springtime, and it's exciting. You hear the birds chirping still, so it's actually a beautiful time of year. One of my favorites. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some grilling today. So start out with a super hot grill, right? It's been preheated for on high for about 15-20 minutes. So one of the things I like to do. So what we got here is actually really cool. This is I don't know if you guys actually know about this particular cut. So these are wild. It's a wild pig that was taken from vineyards, roam around in the vineyards, and this was the interior loin. So everybody knows about the loins on the back of animals, but this one is actually inside the cavity, and most of the time you actually won't even see it. So if you do have a butcher that you're friends with, ask them for their interior loins of whatever, whether it be beef, pork, lamb, whatever it is. It's super tender. It's a small little sliver of meat that is like the most tender piece of meat you will have. This is fresh, literally yesterday, fresh. What we like to do here is we like to salt, obviously, right? I mean, salt's just the key to life, in my opinion. So I always liberally salt everything. And then some of the spices, this is actually a really cool spice. This was given to me by a good friend, Connor McMahon, which is another local winery just over the hill from us. Full Draw Vineyard, so you should check that out. Connor and Becca make really beautiful Rhone-style wines. But anyways, we were with his father, and his father gave me this mix, and I like to make my own spices, my own things over the years I have, and him and I were talking about it, and he says, oh, I've got one, I'd make you one right now, and so he did. And so this is basically, it's smoked paprika, sea salt, cayenne pepper, black pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder, and no sugar. A lot of times when you see like spice rubs and different things like that, people put sugar on it. Don't put sugar. This is you put it on there liberally, make it, and depends on if you like it super spicy, if you're not. So the cayenne is definitely noticeable in this particular blend, and you can change up your ratios of those ingredients that I told you to make it feel however you want. I always end up putting more black pepper on everything because I love black pepper, and then I'll probably throw more salt on. But then we definitely want to put so our local or the trees that grow on our property, which some of you guys have been here before. We've got some 20-year-old olive trees that we've been growing for years, and they're just super cool to make your own olive oil. And we don't do any filtration to this olive oil, which is probably one of the things that makes it super special. Most olive oils you guys will eat and buy in the store will have either like a water filtration done to them, and it takes out a lot of the solids, and actually it takes out a lot of the flavors, is what I think. So we don't do that. So this wine will show nice spice to it, and richness to it, buttery flavors, but then it'll have this nice acidity kick to it on the finish. So it's kind of like Austin Hope Cabernet, actually. It's got this big richness, and then has a nice finish to it on the flavor on the finish, because it's got so much acidity to it. More salt. You can't go wrong with more salt. Just can't. More olive oil. So the other thing is with pork, you don't want to overcook it, but you want to sear it, and you want to get a nice good sear on the thing. So right, so we've got it here. So, that looks pretty, huh? So then we just go straight to the grill. Hope for a nice sear, just like that. And then the best part about grilling is you drink while you grill. Be outside, dogs are running around. So 2018 Austin Hope Cabernet, 2015 was our first vintage, and had tremendous amount of success. Thank you guys for liking the wine that we believed in and dreamed in. And The 2018 is actually becoming one of my favorites of all of them. 15 would, had incredible success right off the bat. 16 was an amazing wine as well. 17, as you guys know, did incredibly well and was number 10 wine in the world for wine enthusiasts. And 18 actually, and I know a lot of winemakers say this, their favorite vintage is the most current vintage, but actually this is my favorite vintage we've made. It just shows so beautifully right off the get-go with this wine, and you got smoke coming back in the background, and in the wine, it's I tell people this. Sometimes I feel like when I smell the Austin Oak Cabernet, I feel like I'm walking into like a fresh or a bakery with fresh baked breads coming out, and there's something about it with brioche and these different kind of aromas that are in this wine. But then when you right behind that, there's just like somebody just like took a whole pile of fruit, put it in a basket, just like ground it up and made this. I don't know. The flavors are just something else. It's got so much layer to this wine. Multiple layers. I mean, when it enters your palate, it's got this just richness and denseness, and that's from the tannins. And I've talked about this wine before about the tannins are so important in this wine, and it's so important in red wines in general. But a lot of times Cabernets and California Cabernets can have these drying tannins, which I've never really enjoyed. So we spent so much time trying to figure out how can we have analytically very high tannins, but have softness and suppleness and richness to the tannin as opposed to the drying hard tannins. And so we figured that out. So this is a labor of love. This wine was, and the whole team has been really excited about this wine, and it just continues to get better and better each vintage. So we can't thank you guys enough for the support, and we really wish you guys were here eating some delicious pork. We roasted some mushrooms and some cauliflower and carrots inside, and a little wild rice we're gonna have with this. We miss you guys. So, anyways, here's to being shut in. Have patience. Love the ones you're with, and dream about the day when we'll be set free and out of jail, and we can all gather back at the tasting room and have fun together again. So enjoy. Be safe, guys.